Okay, so here is it's the audio and video setup for, we'll just call this a kind of large lecture conversation that's going to be live streamed in Andrew Hall. Here's the entire setup. I'm going to focus on the audio section of it. So we have, this is our Mackie mixing board that's going to take all the inputs from our microphone transmitters and receivers, and it's going to output that to whatever media laptop we're using via this USB-C here. If you trace it all the way down, here's the media laptop, and it's going in there. And so what you should see once the microphones are turned on are levels in OBS, which I'll demonstrate shortly here. Okay, so you can see we could have more channels here, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different microphones being used that are coming into channels 1 through 4. Just a brief overview of each channel. Obviously, you have your fader, mute. This is the pre-fader listen, which is just basically a way for you to make sure that the channel is on through phones and working. Not very useful for our context. And with L and R depressed, that's going to make sure that that this signal is coming out through our mains, which is the actual final output, and then it's coming out through our speakers that are up there, 1 and 2. Okay. Up here, here's our gain. Again, just going on for each channel. So from the top down, we have gain, which again is not volume. You want to set this to as close to unity as possible, without the sound overdriving. Here's the compressor, which we're rarely going to use. Basically, this is take a sound that sounds like it's about to clip, and we'll kind of squish the sound so that it doesn't clip. So it's off totally now, and the more you turn it to the right, the more it's going to compress that signal. Down here we have just the very basic EQ settings. There are more EQ settings on the onboard FX panel over here, but we're only going to deal with these right now. So these they're just 3 shelves: high, mid, and low. This will give you, if you roll off of this, you'll sacrifice clarity, but it'll sound less crispy and tinny, but you'll sacrifice clarity. Here, the mids they're just terrible all the time. I'm kidding. And in this room, you want to basically roll off all of the lows, because this just gives you a lot of rumble and a lot of resonance and just a lot of bad stuff in a room where our microphones are so close to our speakers. We need to be thinking about what we can take out, like the least amount of stuff that we can have. And you can see I've really taken out a lot. This mix is for our lavaliers. Lavaliers are a lot more, especially these because they're omnis. They're omnidirectional microphones. The lavaliers are much more problematic than the handhelds. You can see that the handhelds, so 1 and 2 are the lavaliers, 3 and 4 are the handhelds. You can see the gain is up at unity. I don't know why the compressor is up on here. It shouldn't be. The gain is up at unity, and then if you come down here, you see there's actually no EQing at all. It sounds perfectly fine just as is. And this is always preferable. If you don't have to EQ, there's no reason to. There's no reason to take sound out if you don't have to. But it is nice to be able to have the luxury of having. Don't worry about these. Just don't worry about them. Don't look at them. Or these either. If you care, these are your auxiliary knobs, and that's for things like if you're inserting outboard pedals or FX or things like that. And these knobs are the FX knobs that control that. So basically, on this onboard FX panel here, you would set up different kind of effects. So like, So like delay or echo or slapback or blah, 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 blah. You would set that here. And then you would say how much you want to apply those effects using these knobs here. And then over here, this is like the master mix for the effects. So I would unmute it, and if I wanted to put, if I had put like a reverb or something, let's say, and I would bring those in like that. But 99.9% of the time, we're just worried about our mains, our speakers, and then each of these channels, which are getting their inputs from these 4 receivers that are getting a signal from 2 lavaliers and 2 handhelds, at least in this situation. And that'll about do it. Thanks.